Okay, evening guys, and welcome to our lower body flexibility class. We're going to start off with some ankle mobility today and then work our way up. You may want to use a step or a stair, or if you put a few books on top of each other to start with. We're going to do something slightly different this week around the ankles to start with. A bit of a mobility exercise and a little stretching as well. So we'll start off with that. So if you are watching the video afterwards, you can kind of just take your phone with your laptop and take it by the staircase, or if you've got a small step, patio step, or a threshold step, something you can use, feel free to use that as well. Otherwise, pile up a few books. Okay, what you're going to be doing is you're going to have your feet up on the step. Again, this is really high just because that's how I last use it. It doesn't need to be particularly this high. Be up tall on the step. Okay, I want you to come up onto your tiptoes as high as you can. Okay, so we're getting into what's called plantar flexion. You're planting the toes down, and then we're going to come all the way down into dorsiflexion. So I just want you to dangle those heels down past the steps. So you can use steps, so you can step on a weight, or like I said, folders or books, as long as they're nice and secure. Coming back up to the top again, guys. So you're basically doing a calf raise exercise with a decline in as well. There you go, on the decline, I just want you to hold and just kind of feel that stretch in the lower leg for a few seconds. Okay, so just hold there. And then coming back up. Okay, so we're just going to do 5 in total. This is number 3. And each time we're just going to hold kind of 5-10 seconds at the bottom. And then we're going to do one prolonged stretch in a minute. But first of all, we'll get our first 5 done. So coming up again for number 4. And then down nice and slowly. And just let those heels dangle down over the step. And again, coming up nice and tall, number 5. And then coming down. The benefit of this is obviously you get a little bit of calf work involved. Then you're having a good stretch as well. So you're getting strength and stretching and working. So a little bit more functional mobility, more so than just holding a static stretch. We're now just going to actually hold this though as well. So we're doing a bit of the best of both worlds. So 30-second hold. So literally just let those calves stretch out. Just let those heels dangle down. And just hold. And then 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. Okay, relaxing there for a second. What we're going to do next, same stretch, guys, but you're just going to bend the knees to start with. So I want you to bring the thickest part or widest part of your foot on the step. The heel should be hanging off. Bend the knees forward to start with. Okay, and then slowly let those heels come down, and you'll probably feel similar stretch, but a little bit lower down. So rather than the top of the calf, so the gastrocnemius head, we're now stretching that tissue, that's soft tissue muscle underneath the soleus. Okay, so we're just going to hold here again for 30 seconds. Got around 20 left. And again for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. Good. So good. So that's a way, guys, you can just use a step or a few books, whatever you've got on the floor, to just stretch the calves again a slightly different way. Rather than having to hold your kind of weight forward and really drive that heel back, you can just let gravity help you out and your body weight pulling down. Okay. Next, we're going to just do some ankle rolls. So coming into all 4 movements. So inversion, eversion, plantar flexion, and dorsiflexion around the ankle. Start off just going counterclockwise, or if you're going clockwise, don't worry, we're going to do both ways. I'm just going to mobilize that ankle, just keep it moving, just get it loosened up, get some blood in there at the same time. Changing directions, guys. Same again. Again, this isn't a balance exercise as such. Feel free to hold on to a wall, or as I'm doing a bookshelf or a desk, wherever you're near. Stopping there, guys. Coming to the other ankle, and again, clockwise or counterclockwise. Doesn't matter, we're going to do both sides. And changing direction. So just coming in the opposite way. Good, and stop in there. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is a knee to wall. So for me, it's going to be knee to desk. You're just going to bring the knee down forward towards the desk. Make sure you're leaning on something, whether that be the wall or as I'm doing the desk. And you're just going to bring your knee to there until the heel just starts to lift. So we're going to start off just mobilizing the ankle joint. So we're just getting it moving. Okay, you bring in the knees over the toes until you feel a little stretch at the bottom of the leg. And once we've got it moving and mobilized, we're then just going to add a hold. So find kind of appropriate distance for you away from the wall where you can just touch your knee to the wall or the desk and the heel just starts to lift. You should be able to feel the stretch. If you can't, just drop the foot back slightly and try again. Okay, so for me there, I'm around 12 to 15 centimeters, 5-6 inches away from the desk at the bottom. And my knees just touching the desk. So I can feel that stretching back the heel, back of the lower leg. Me personally. Important one for runners, that one knee to wall stretch. Changing ankles. So again now, I'm going to do exactly the same with this right leg. So I'm just going to go knee to wall. Okay, and I just missed it there, that's fine. Start off with, we just mobilise and just getting the mobility in that ankle, just getting it moving, getting the knees coming over the toes. Again, this isn't a tracking exercise as such for the knee, but do try and get the knee over the toes. Try and make sure it's not darting off to the left or the right. So do think about keeping your forward knee position as well. So the knee should be coming straight over the foot, over the toes. Try to make sure it isn't collapsing inward or folding outward. Good, and again, you should be offsetting your weight through your hands. Okay, now we're just going to add the hold in again. So keep the heel down and push that front knee forward. Again, my left ankle's quite stiff. I struggle to feel it as much. So for me, using gravity and using the steps is probably a better stretch for my left ankle. For my right, I can really feel this right in the area where I'm trying to stretch, which is the soleus. So for me, this is a perfect stretch for my right leg. For the left, I'd use different options, different stretches, just like we did to start with tonight. Okay, coming from there, guys, now we'll stretch gastroc. So now our left foot comes back, heel is dug down, and you're again leaning against something. You're trying to push a straight leg down. So rather than a bent knee coming forward, it's a straight leg back now. And just hold. Both feet should be facing forward, around shoulder width, or so a bit narrower apart. And then just hold again, around 30-second hold. Just gives enough time for that viscoelastic tissue, muscle tissue, to start stretching out. And changing feet to other heel back. Down. And again, just hold. And slowly coming back up there. Good stuff. Okay, guys, next we're going to come into a little bit of work around hamstrings, posterior chain. A tiny bit. So we're going to start off, guys. Okay, I want you to reach forward, bend down towards the floor as if you're doing a hamstring stretch. Okay, see how low you can get.
If you can't get too low, just grab around the ankles. Just make sure you kind of fixating at the hands. If you're just trying to hang, again, your hamstrings are going to be contracting, so they're going to struggle to relax. So think about trying to get your hands on the floor. Then I want you to kind of drop the knees down into a squat. Try and actually push down and kind of bend at the knee. Again, I struggle with this one a little bit, but the left one I can almost kind of fully just sit back on there. If you can sit your bum down as you heel, that's what I want you to actually do with this exercise, guys. And me, I haven't had the knee up on this right side, doesn't particularly find that too pleasant at the moment. I'm nearly there. So again, just hold, and then I want you to stick your bum up in the air, guys, nice and high, until you feel that stretch in the back of the legs, okay, so you have things. If you can lean a bit further forward, that's great, and just hold there again. And then again, I want you to bring these down. Okay, try and sit onto the leg, ignore what I'm doing with this one popping out. If you can, just sit down onto your heels. Okay, we want a maximal bend in the knee, lots of knee flexion, okay, stretching the tissue around the front of the knee. If you've got particularly tight knees, knee joints quite stiff, you'll probably feel this in the front of the knee. Otherwise, it'll probably feel quite normal to you. If I go on to this one, again, I can feel that straight away. That's actually in the knee. You can feel the tightness. That's really common. Again, nice little stretch to get those knees moving a little bit more. Again, then push your belly nice and high. And now you should feel that stretch in the hamstrings again. And keep leaning forward, keep reaching for the floor. Don't worry if the knees are a little bit bent, that's fine. Just get more of the bulk of the hamstring that way. Again, guys, coming down, knees coming over toes, sitting down onto the heels last time through. So even with me, it's feeling a little bit sore today. I can still, I can nearly sit down on that. And again, pushing them up in the air, nice and high, and just hold. And hold this 20 seconds now. Good, and slowly coming up. Okay, I'm going to do a little bit more movement-based work around the hamstrings now. I'm going to do floor sweeps. So we just put the heel out and then just sweep up through the hamstring, okay? I'm going to demonstrate it nice and slow. If you want to add in a bit more speed, that's absolutely fine. So again, a bit more of a ability routine. So you feel a stretch in the hamstrings, but we're also getting the hips moving into flexion and extension, and you just sweep it up. You may have seen this as part of a dynamic warm-up as well. You're just planting the heel down, getting the nerve tissue, the body moving as well. And lots of things moving around. Lower back as well is obviously coming to flexion and extension. So you're bending, flexing, and then straightening, which is extension. Then just keep switching feet, sweeping up. Last couple through. See if you can get a bit lower, get down to the floor, and coming up there. Okay. Next, guys, going to come into our desk or chair stretch. Okay. Try and find a work surface. I'm going to use today the desk, and I want you to pop your heel on the desk. You may feel a stretch already if your hamstrings are particularly tight. If not, I then want you to reach down the leg and just lean forward until you do feel a stretch down the backs of the thighs. And obviously the leg you'll feel it on is the one you've got up on the desk. Otherwise at home, use a chair, use your sofa. If you haven't got anything in for that reason, as long as you're in a house, you've got a staircase, you can pop it on second, third, fourth step, depending on your height, and then just lean forward. Good, slowly coming back up and just changing the legs. You're going to bring the leg again on
desk, chair, sofa, stairs, wherever you're doing it. And then again, just lean forward. And again, I like to kind of grab onto something rather than hanging up, just so again, I'm kind of offsetting my weight a little bit, and I can just relax into the stretch a little bit more. If you try and stand up tall, you're obviously holding your posture, holding your back, you're probably more likely to then tense up or have to balance through the hips, and therefore the hamstring isn't particularly going to relax very well for the stretch. Good, and slowly put it there, guys. Well done. Okay, next, again, we haven't done these before either, a bit more of a mobility exercise. Just going to come into leg swings. So we're going to be mobilizing into hip flexion and giving the hamstrings a bit of a dynamic stretch as well. So feel free to keep the leg back a little bit as well, and then just swing through. And each time, feel free to try and add a little bit of height. Again, it's not particularly designed as a balance exercise, so feel free to grab onto the wall or staircase, wherever you're doing it, and the banisters, and just keep swinging that leg up and down. Good, and last one there, and then change legs. Okay, same with the other legs, so kick back and sweep the leg up. So just forward leg swings. And keep working on the height. Let me get a little bit higher, and last one there, and back to the middle. Okay, next we're going to come across the body, okay, then out. So you're going to get a bit of stretch into the groin as well. Same exercise, but now rather than kicking forward, you're going to kick across the body, okay? So again, try and keep getting the height. Come up, come out, up, and out and across. If the hips are feeling tight, like mine is a little bit, you may get a bit of crunching, that sort of sensation around the hip as well. Again, I'm holding on to this bookcase we've got here, just because, obviously with the legs swinging, it's knocking me off balance. Good, and stop in there, changing the legs. And same again, pull across, kicking the wall, long legs. Keep working it out as far as you can. Lean against something, keep your balance. Let that leg swing out as far as you can, and across as far as you can. Good, and stop in there. Good, hip circles next. You can get those hips moving, hands on hips. Please do as large a circle as possible. Okay, starting off clockwise, and then we'll go counterclockwise. And if you've already started, don't worry, we'll do both sides. Just keep those hips moving. And you're coming out to the right as far as you can, back as far as you can, left as far as you can, and forward as far as you can. So really do test the range you can get through those hips. It's a ball and socket joint, so you will get plenty of movement through the hips. So really try and get as far as you can with each rotation. That's 3, 2, 1. And changing directions, going back the opposite way. And now, again, I'm going counterclockwise. If you're going the other way, that's fine. Just make sure you did switch at the halfway point. Yeah, that's 3, 2, 1, and 0. Back to the middle, stop in there. Okay. We're going to come into kneeling hip flexor stretches next. Again, I like to use a desk or a chair so you can kind of lean against, just so you can hold your body weight as you get into position. And I'll angle this in slightly, just on closer. But it's going to be kneeling on the right leg, left leg forward, okay? Or if again you're in opposites, that's fine. Tuck the hips underneath you, tucking your tailbone underneath you first, then arch the back, lean forward. You're going the opposite way to that, tucking underneath. Then you can lean forward. Okay, straight away I can feel that that do have tight hip flexors. A lot of people do, we're not particularly well designed, sitting for long periods yet. Most of us, that's how we work typically throughout the day. Plenty of driving on top of that. So again, I'm going to hold this 30 seconds, just let this hip flexor stretch out. Like I said, you use your knee, use a desk. Got my elbow cemented here, hand here. I'm not just trying to hold up and tense in the quads to try and keep me upright. Just relaxing into the stretch. So I've got hand here, elbow here, taking a bit of the weight through for that. Good, and changing legs. So now I'm going left knee back, right knee forward, and again, lean into the stretch, keeping my tailbone tucked underneath me. I'm locking here and here, and then I'm just holding into that kind of 30-second stretch, just holding that position there. Good, and coming back up. We'll do the same stretch next, we'll just get the quads involved a little bit more as well. Right knee down, left leg forward. Now this one, unless you can prop your foot up on something, you probably will need one hand support and then one hand back. So you're going to try and get this leg up, so heel towards the bum. Okay, once you've got that up, so I'm just kind of hook the back of my shoe there. You then lean forward and ease into the stretch. And again, you'll probably just feel that down the thigh a little bit more than last time. So you're hooking, same stretch, still leaning forward, but you're just going to bring the heel in towards your bum first. So right knee down, right heel in, right hip then down towards the floor and forward. Good. Slowly coming back. So start and change legs. So left knee down, right knee comes forward to support. Right arm on the desk here. Left hand, you can grab the top of the shoe there, or you can grab the back of the heel. This leg's feeling a bit more flexible, so I'm going to grab the top of the foot. Then I'm leaning forward and just hold. And slowly coming up. As we kind of worked hip flexors through quads, we'll now come into quads and get those done as well. So if you want to lie flat on your side with the knees together, again, I'm not too strict with the knees together part, but again, good starting position. Hook the heel. Can you get your sock, back of your shoe? I mean, if I give it a good pull, I can again grab at the top of my laces, get heel in to bum, and just pull and hold. This is your standard stretch from the front of the thighs, the quadriceps stretch. Again, and hold around 30 seconds. If that's really easy, heel straight in towards your bum, drop the hip back, okay, so the knee comes behind the other knee. That's one way you can progress the stretch. It's similar to what we just did in kneeling, you're putting the hip back into extension, and then bring the heel up towards your bum, so knee bends, so knee flexion. And then you just hold there. Good, relaxing there. Swiveling around, or just turn over, that's what I'm going to do. And then again, knees together, heel comes in towards bum. If that's really easy, you just drop the hip back slightly as well. For me, You drop the hip back. I'm just going to use the carpet as a bit of a hook as well, just so I don't have to hold the leg as much. Good, and coming back up from there. Whilst we're on our backs, we'll go straight into glutes. Okay, first of all, we'll just get hips and back moving. So we're just going to drop down into some knee rolls to start with, just to keep everything moving, get everything mobilized. So just allow the knees to fall from side to side. Just keep rolling over. And again with this one, try and keep feet together. We can split them apart slightly as long as the knees are still coming down as far as possible. And try and keep either hands down, so crucifix position, or otherwise at least, as I'm doing, elbows down and the shoulder blades pinned down to the floor. So you're going to hold in that crucifix style position, and then you're just allowing the rest of the body to start rotating. You fixate in shoulder blades and elbows down, and then you're just letting the knees roll from side to side. Good, stopping back in the middle, ankle over knee, okay, and then pull that leg in, so your standing leg on the floor, right foot, you then bring it up, you're pulling in, and then just hold. As soon as you feel that stretch, pulling the left leg in, so I should actually feel this on the right leg. That's the one we're rotating and pulling further. And slowly coming down, and changing the legs. So again, ankle over knee, and pull through again and hold. And slowly coming back down. And again, feet next to each other. And again, you're just going to let the knees roll from side to side. You may even find now, loosen the glutes up a little bit, you may even get a little bit further. Again, just let those knees roll and fall from side to side. Again, if you really want to make sure the arms are cemented, you can tuck it under. So I've got the doors here, you can take your arms under sofa or a door or some weights, just to make sure they're cemented down. Otherwise, just keep thinking about where your shoulder blades are. Are they pinned down to the floor? Can you keep your arms on the floor and your elbows on the floor? That's 3, 2, and 1. I always try and do this stretch because it's one of my favourites. Left leg bent, right leg straight-ish, and pull that leg in, okay? Feel free to use stretching bands or rope, okay, or pulley bands or TRX, or like I'm doing, just use your hands. Don't need any equipment. Pull that leg in, pulling the knee down towards the chest, and you pull in the foot over the head, okay, so stretch it out. Hammies, slight bend of my knee, so I'm getting more so bulk of the hammies rather than proximal or distal attachments. Again, just hold.
Good, slowly coming down. Right heel planted, left leg comes up and in, so the hips coming in, whilst the legs going straight. Again, you can use, like I said, some fabric or rope or a pillowcase or towel to pull on the foot, or you can use stretching bands, or as I said, as I'm doing, just grab the leg, pull it down and over. And again, slowly, slowly coming down. Good stuff. Sitting up next, we're going to start off seated with that cross body stretch. Step the leg over the other leg and then give it a good hook. Pull it in tight. Okay, you're not just pulling it in, you're trying to pull it round as well. So it's stretching out kind of around that kind of IT band region. A little bit more so probably glute. You're probably more likely to feel it lower down into the glute. Slowly releasing there, guys. And again, step the other leg over and pull in. And again, as we ran through in previous weeks, try with all of your stretches to relax. Slow your breathing down. Okay, that really will help you to go a little bit further into the stretch than usual. You're quite tense. You're feeling tense. Again, it's going to be harder for you to switch off the mechanisms that are kind of just preventing you from adding to your range of movement. So nice, slow, deep breaths that will help you with stretch, and hence why they do a lot of that kind of Pilates yoga, a lot to do with rib position, breathing, that sort of stuff as well. Again, that's one of the reasons why I try and slow your breathing rate down and just ease into the stretch. And again, we're going to do our sit and reach test next. So both feet together and knees down into the floor of the mat, and then reach forward. And again, today, I'm straight over my toes, that's great. So end of the session, straight over the toes. That's what we want to see. And again, just hold. And hold for 20 from there. If you can creep forward, please do. Try and get a little bit further. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. Come there. Again, guys, probably just over 30 minutes there of lower limb stretches with some back stuff here and there added in as well. A bit more mobility work this week than previous weeks. Any questions about the exercises or anything I've run through tonight, please feel free to email me, jack@therapy.com, or leave a comment in the comments box. Again, guys, thank you for coming.